I'm as guilty as a sin. I don't deny that, but damn it, you've got to review the facts. The whole story. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for both the little mutts, the family, and the kid. But I've got another good 5 years left in me. It's a waste for me to die now. It's a waste. So I messed up a little. Doesn't everybody? Look, this is what happened. For a start, that fence that you put up was just beaming with curiosity. Don't you humans understand this at all? If you want to put up a fence between dogs, put up a chain link fence or a wire mesh fence. Don't go putting up this heavy wooden stuff. Because if we can't see each other, then we're obviously going to have to try and get through the fence. Dogs. A man's best friend. Since the dawn of time, humans and canines have always been side by side. However, according to Nature.com, on May 3rd, 2021, aggressively behaving dogs can cause public concern by biting people and other pets, causing medical or even lethal consequences for the victim. Boris, a 7-year-old Rottweiler, struggles to cope when 2 new dogs move in next door. They tease and torment him. Through the experiences of Boris, we learn that it is better to think before we act. The Doglogs by C.J. Johnson. So that's the beginning of this story. New members have moved in, and it seems that they have some sort of dogs. All I know is one morning I wake up, and there's 2 voices barking right on the other side of that fence. So, I go bark on my side. Well, we bark, and it's instantly aggressive. Because if we can't see each other, then we have to assert ourselves vocally, don't we? Well, the barking goes on all morning, and then we break for lunch. And then we start up again in the afternoon. Finally, their master comes home and they're taken inside. A little piece. By now, I was pretty angry. Can't help it. It's how you people bred me. So after dinner, I'm just having a little bit of quiet time. And it starts up again. Well, I become a little furious and start to bark back. That's when the master comes and tells me to be quiet. So obedient and respectful I am, I have to stay quiet while these arrogant newcomers next door continue to bark well into the night. They're saying, "Given up, have you?" You can imagine I didn't sleep well that night. The next day, the barking starts as soon as their master goes to work. So I bark and, well, I start to dig. I dig away at the earth and the fence. And those dumb little idiots, I can hear them digging too. After dinner, they come out again and start to bark. I try, let me assure you, I try hard to forget the whole thing. But 3 minutes of their inane diatribe barking and I can't help myself. I'm back there barking and digging again at the fence. 10 o'clock. My master comes out and tells me to be quiet again. I'm 12 years old and my master yelled at me like I was a pup. The shame. I go to bed, but I can't sleep. And that brings us to yesterday. I'd only managed to catch the barest hint of sleep when their barking woke me up. It's 7 in the morning. As soon as my master's gone, I get back into the fray. I go barking, digging, and the fence starts to give a little bit more. So we continue to bark and dig, and then here we go. I furiously ram into the fence as it falls down. Just the sight of them shivering, looking at my killer teeth and bones satisfies me, but not enough. So I grab one of them and rip their barking little heads off. Then the other one comes at me, like he's gonna be a little hero, and actually managed to nip me before I grab him and rip his stomach apart. Finally, there's silence. Later, their master comes home. He screams when he sees them. At about 6, a man comes to the gate. He looks furious I try to make him understand what happened. But he just keeps on yelling at me. Then my master gets home, at usual around 7. First, he reads the note, then he goes to the fence, and then he looks at me. He doesn't bark. He just sits there and hugs me. He hugs me really tight. Then I don't get fed all night. Today, he goes out in the morning and he comes back. By now, he's late for work, but before he goes, he brings out a meal to me. Then he hugs me really tight again. And he goes out to work. I've been staring at that bowl for 5 hours now. It reeks of poison. But I obey my master because it is the right thing to do. He has been shamed, and it is my fault. And he must not be shamed any further. So pardon me while I eat.